Pickaxe.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
All right, Michael?
It was you recently, Ben, who went on holiday and fell off a mode of transport, right? You on a scooter?
Last November I did, yeah.
Wow,
I was in
Wait, that was
Riga.
last November?
A year ago.
It was, man.
Oh
a
my
year ago.
God, that genuinely felt like a story you told a couple of weeks ago. Wow. Oh.
No, I'm afraid not.
Well,
nearly
wow.
Christmas, bud.
Well, then I'm happy to say I can also join the ranks of a person who fell off
Oh,
a mode of
no.
transport in another country in November.
Oh, Michael, I'm going to be honest. If anybody I knew, if I had to guess out of anybody I knew on this planet that had fallen off an e-scooter in another country, it would be you.
Yeah.
I fall off my bike quite a lot. Usually.
Do you?
Yeah, but it's.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah. But like
He did
every
take
time
a brick to the head when he was a child, so
I'm indestructible.
understandable.
He
like-
did, yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
it's like how people like take little amounts of poison to build up a tolerance. I just
Yeah.
started with a brick to the head, and then my tolerance is like up here now, so
Right.
I can take anything.
One
Yeah,
day, sorry to interrupt you, Mike, just while we're saying, one day you will be one of the people that you bring along to the podcast. Like someone will be telling a story about this guy called Michael Johnson who took a brick to the head, fell off a scooter, ate silica gel, and he was just indestructible.
Oh yeah, well, that's
There'll
what
be
I'm
a
building up
Wikipedia
to.
article about you in
Yeah.
like 50 years' time.
Yeah, I'm building up to a magnum opus, but that's a secret for now. That's for you to find out in 30
Oh.
years.
Oh, dear. So what happened then?
So it wasn't a scooter; it was an electronic bicycle because I love my bikes and I couldn't resist. I had a couple of trips around Berlin. It was lovely, and I was like, I got to get across the city. I need to do it quickly. Going to rent another bike, and I went a slightly different route, which had tram lines on it. Don't worry, I didn't get run over by the tram, but
Good.
instead, as I was on the road, one of my bike wheels got lodged into the little gap for the tram to go
The
through.
rail, yeah.
Yeah, and I just bike slipped out from under me, and in front of a large crowd of people, I just slid and crashed to the ground.
Did you dab? Did you save it with a dab?
It's like, I'm fine. Just let me go. I don't want to be here.
And like, he's fine. He's fine. He's dabbed.
Yeah. He's dabbed. That would have been pretty cool.
They're heavy as well, those e-bikes, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
Big, heavy metal things.
But it's, quite a graceful fall at least. I slid onto my side, and concerned passers-by were like, "Oh my God, you need to sit down. You're in shock." I was like, "Nope, I'm fine. Bye," and just sped off
Fine,
into
I'm
the distance.
embarrassed. Leave me alone.
Yeah, please don't talk to me. Don't look at me. But look, it doesn't kill you. Makes you stronger. Well, makes you a little bit weaker for a little bit. Ouch. Ooh, ow.
That's true.
Yeah, it's quite exciting. It was a real bit of excitement in my holiday. I highly recommend trying it, Peter. Yeah, you're next on the list.
It's me. I'm the
You're
next
the last one.
Yeah. Okay.
Last one to get COVID. Last one to slam into the floor of an e-scooter.
I'll give it a go next time.
I know it's tempting.
Oh, you want to?
God. Well, we have a date that you all need to add to your calendars. And that is Friday the 8th of December. Because confirmed, that is when we will be doing a Vidiots reunion stream on Twitch. So twitch.tv/Vidiots official. Come along for a fun evening filled with maybe something to bid on. Maybe some brand new merchandise that you might want to check out. Everybody brings a thing along and some assorted other silly bollocks. And we do hope you can join us. That will be, I think, we've set the rough time of 8 p.m, but we will
8 p.m.
confirm that on
GMT.
socials closer to the time. GMT. And come along. What is this? Vidiots reunion 4, 5?
Oh God.
We've done at least one a year, haven't we?
2018. So will it be 4? Because there wasn't one in 2018. I don't know.
Let's call it the 5th. 5th's a better number. We'll just skip number 4.
All right.
Yeah,
it's
shall we?
the
Shall we just skip
fifth
straight to regardless? It's just the 5th one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, we do hope you can join us there over on Twitch.
Yeah.
Very exciting times. Very exciting times. Shall we? Do you want to? Shall we?
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, we shall.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots
Vidiots
podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the 3 R's, where everybody brings
A thing along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
It's been a little while since we recorded because we did 2 back-to-back.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of weekly recordings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So how the devil are you, Peter Austin?
Oh, you know full well how I am because I see you every day. Well, in fact, I don't see you every day anymore. I only see you at most 3 days a week, and then less than that if we're, doing our own thing.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you're, high-flying management like us. You spend less time with other members of staff, which is not really how management should work, really.
No, it's not at all.
Management, less time with the staff.
I mean, yeah, but that's the dream of management, isn't it? So you can elevate to that point to not do less work. So, yeah, congratulations, you've made it.
Thanks.
It's great. Yeah, the less we have to see each other, the more successful we've become. I think that's
seems to be it. How are you, Michael Johnson?
I am fan-dabby dozy. Yeah, I'm fresh off my holiday, and injuries aside, had a lovely time.
Good.
Berlin's absolutely
Brilliant.
delightful.
What were the vegan options like in Germany?
So good. I think Berlin's a bit of an outlier in that it's it's hipster as fuck. But
Cosmopolitan.
Yes, cosmopolitan. Really good. I mean, I ate absolute crap the entire time. I just ate burger, kebab, and currywurst. So yeah, good times. Good times.
Amazing. Sounds great.
How are you?
Ask Ben. Yeah.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
I got your text,
guys. I really appreciate it.
It's fine. Hi, Ben.
I'm also yeah.
How are you doing?
What?
How are you?
Oh, thank you, Michael. Yeah, thank you for asking. I appreciate you asking. I'm also off my holidays, although not quite as recently as you. I was in Poland for a week, and I did a very similar thing to you in that I just drank lots of cheap alcohol and ate my body weight in bad foods. And I still feel like I'm sort of recovering now. I still kind of feel bloated and uncomfortable wearing belts on my jeans. So I clearly did it very well. And to sort of follow up on your tale of vegan conquest in Berlin, I'll say that the vegan options in the 2 cities I went to, Wroclaw and
Krakow or Krakow.
Correct. Thank you. I always forget it. Yeah, were brilliant. There's a place in Krakow called Vigab. And it's just a vegan kebab place, and it was fucking lovely. We went there twice, and the kebabs were massive, and I felt sick, and it was great. So yeah, Poland had a lovely time out there. Beautiful country. Had some strange slimy foods, which I was not expecting. Went to a beer hall type place, and they served us some rye bread with lard spread on it and sort of pork crackling-y bits kind of on it as well. We didn't ask for it. It was just put on our table. And 2 of us weren't vegan. So we were like, well, we've got to try this out of politeness. And maybe it was just the darkness of the room, but the texture was unfamiliar and frightening, and we couldn't finish the bread. We probably upset the proprietor a little bit.
Yeah, they brought you the free bread lard pig meal.
I know.
And you didn't eat it.
The lard does sound a bit much, though. Just give us some flora. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, you got any margarine? So we're all on we've all had a holiday apart from Peter.
I'm about to go away though, a staycation. Hey. I'm going away in the UK, but just gonna go and just do nothing in a house that is in the middle of a fucking field.
Yeah.
And the field is in the middle of a fucking nothing. And I'm gonna have a lovely time.
Is that what you're doing this weekend?
Yes, yeah. I'm going. Well, I'm going to a wedding on Saturday, but then immediately after that, we're heading off for 3 days to a shack, which we'll really enjoy.
The love shack.
Yeah, the love shack.
Let the social battery drain right down at the wedding and then retreat into the woods.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the best kind of shack in that it's got all the mod cons inside. You're driving up to it on this bumpy road full of potholes, and you're because we've been before once, and you're like, how's this going to be? And then you get in, and it's warm and airtight, and has good Wi-Fi and a massive. It has the ensuite in the bathroom is sort of down a half-height wall. Which wouldn't be good if you were there with someone who you're not married to or in a relationship with. But you can basically lie in the bath and watch the TV in the bedroom. In this really nice. Oh, it's great. Yeah, can't wait to go.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you have a lovely time, Peter.
Thank you. I'm sure I will.
And I've now somehow got to segue from all of us talking about the lovely holidays we've been on or are going on and ask for money.
Yeah.
If you go to podiots.com and if you donate £3 or more, you'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast. You'll join Pod Squad. You'll support what we do here at Podiots. And obviously, we massively appreciate it. Just an advance warning, we haven't yet decided, but there will either be 1 or 2 episodes before Christmas. We will let you know in the social media post if it is the final episode before Christmas, because we normally take a break over Christmas and New Year, just in case you want to buy a Pod Squad shout out for a friend or a loved one or something like that. So be aware that that will be coming up soonish, but we will let you know in the post that goes out if that's your last chance.
Yeah.
Shall we start off, Michael Johnson, with the Pumpy Platoon?
We shall. We begin with Palestina Math, the Blobbit Dildo Shaggins, good, Stephen Skores, Blobby's Wobbly Nobby, Lord Brotovich, and wow, that's a harsh word. Where the cunt is Freddie Weber?
Oof, goodness me.
I'll wash my mouth out with soap after that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Just very quickly, I'd like to point out that the Palestina Math one. There's a note that comes with it that says solidarity with Palestine via a wrestling pun. We stand with Palestine.
Yeah.
Just want to make that clear before we continue.
Yeah, fair enough. We've also got Gromit Romney or Gromit Romney. Mr. Macca, can I pet that dog? Prince Beefcakes, Isaac Cox, and Donak07.
And finally, we have John Dillerman, doxed myself last pod, must be too chuggy for Streamlabs, and reverse poo, go back up bum. And that's your Pod Squad for this week.
I shouldn't have had a drink after the last one. That was, I very nearly spewed water everywhere.
Did you enjoy that one?
I did.
Yeah, the last one
that's
was good.
Getting my vote for my favourite.
Oh, is it?
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Gromit Romney.
Yeah.
That is very clever as well.
Podiots.com, £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of next podcast. Thank you so much, Pod Squad, for this week. Michael Johnson, it is now, I believe, your turn to edit the podcast and also select some wonderful things that have been submitted by the listeners / viewers. You can watch this podcast on our YouTube channel, by the way. We've got cameras and everything.
Ooh, jazz hands. Is everyone else doing jazz hands?
Yeah,
I'm doing jazz hands.
I'm making a real treat for the viewers.
Jazz hands. Michael, don't do that. Oh my goodness. Stop
terrible.
it. Whoa.
Okay.
Put it away.
Well, you see that in the video. I did Pachiti's. Was it the double?
Oh, the wanky
yeah.
cock
The
dance.
Pachiti thing. Yeah.
the Pachiti things. Yeah, I forget how this works. It's been a long time. Do I choose myself for the first thing, or do I choose one of you?
You just choose a person to do a user-submitted thing.
Yeah, choose another person.
I think you chose
normally.
me before. I feel like I've been chosen first before.
Well then, Peter, you are the chosen one this time.
Thank you very much, Michael Johnson, for choosing me. And thank you to Will Malley at Will Malley for sending this in via our Twitter post. Maybe it might be Maley. I think it's Malley. This is according to the Manchester Evening News.co.uk, written by Neil Shaw. And Ashley Blakely. It's a collaborative effort.
Blimey. It must be really good.
Oh yeah,
It is. Here we go. Nudist asked to leave Wetherspoons after bending over for poppadom.
Oh no.
It actually says poppadom, which I believe is another accepted spelling, and I like that because it sort of reminds you of the word bum.
Yeah.
The UM at the end.
This is why there's 2 writers on this one.
Yeah. There is a subheading now, and it's a quote from the nudist, I believe. We all have a bottom, and they all look the same.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they definitely don't. Some bottoms are better than others.
Very true. So, a nudist has slammed Wetherspoons after he was asked to leave one of their pubs for accidentally exposing his bum. Richard Collins said staff at his local branch of the chain tried to bar him after he, and this is in quotes, accidentally flashed while bending down to flick some poppadom off his seat.
Sure.
The 67-year-old said he usually goes around naked, but had donned a sweatshirt and hoodie and a short suede skirt with no underwear on when he went for dinner at the pub.
Ooh.
After ordering a chicken tikka curry at the bar, Richard said he noticed some food on his seat before bending over to flick it off, claiming he did not know a mother and her teenage daughter were sitting behind.
Oh, no.
There's a photo of the guy, actually. Hang on, let me share that with you.
Is it a picture of his bum?
Sadly not. I was going to say, you can decide whether you would like to see that man's bum or not.
I really, really don't want to judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
But this man definitely pulled his ass out on purpose.
Yeah, well, also, I could have told you that he looks exactly like that if you told me it was a 67-year-old nudist. All nudists, male nudists, seem to have the great big bushy beard. I think every single one does, for some reason.
Beards are the acceptable clothes in that world.
Yeah. I know that's a sweeping generalization I've just made, but you know what? If you're a nudist and you're listening and you don't have a beard, good for you.
Put some pants on.
Yeah, put some pants on in Wetherspoons. Richard, who says he has been visiting the John Logie Baird pub 4 times that's what it's called, John Logie Baird.
Yeah, that's the guy who did the TV, right?
Yeah, I think it's just. I think it might be called the John Logie Baird. I guess named after him.
Okay, respect. We like John Logie Baird.
We do because he reminds us all.
John Logie Baird
Because he reminds us all of Yogi Bear. That's the only reason.
That's it. That's what he made.
Yeah. Richard, who says he's been visiting the John Logie Baird pub 4 times a week for 10 years.
Bloody hell.
And wait for the second half of this sentence. Blamed the mother and daughter for looking up his skirt and said they should have averted their eyes if they didn't like it.
You can't just get your bumhole out. That's
No.
You just don't. We are accepted as a modern civilized society. We keep our bumholes well hidden.
He said, if you or your child look up someone's skirt, then don't complain if you don't like what you see. Avert your eyes. The founder of Naturists UK said it was ridiculous that the manager asked him to leave for bending over with no underwear on, despite Richard claiming he was properly covered. I mean, if he's the founder of Naturists UK, I think that just pays even more credence to the fact that he probably was flashing. And that might also be why I recognise this man, because he's probably been on the news at some point. So it makes sense why he looks familiar. So the incident spurred Richard, who's been a nudist for 40 years, to campaign for naturist rights to be formally recognised in legislation so that he and fellow nudists can walk into any pub naked and get served.
Oh, man.
Richard shared the story to a Facebook group with more than 5,000 members, claiming the ordeal spoiled an otherwise lovely day of naked cycling, sunbathing and swimming.
Oh, that does sound quite nice, actually.
It does, but, people have to opt into that.
I think he also spoiled a lovely day of going for a Wetherspoons tea with mum and daughter, potentially. So, Wetherspoons said they ask all customers to dress appropriately and, more specifically, in a way which would not cause offence to employees or other customers. They stood by the branch's decision and said the pub's management quite rightly didn't think Richard was dressed appropriately. Richard said, I was quite unhappy being asked to leave. I thought it was a bit extreme. The manager could have just said, we just had a complaint, could you be a bit more careful and not bend over? When I got my dinner, I was sitting there quite upset and anxious, but I wasn't going to make a big scene. I don't want to get banned. It's one of the places I eat regularly, and I was going to say to the manager, it's not nice to be discriminated against. Oh, so has he only been asked to leave? He's not been banned permanently? No, I don't think he has. Right, okay, so we didn't want to kick up a fuss. Again, it's got all the filler in it. I was wearing a skirt which is not that short, so when I'm walking around normally I'm properly covered, etc., etc. Richard claimed the agitated mother of the teen girl spoke to a staff member at the bar before the manager asked him to leave. He added, asked him to leave for not wearing any underwear and bending over. He added, a minute later the manager appeared, a young woman, and said, it appears you're not wearing any underwear, and the child on the table behind saw when you bent over. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I replied, I never wear any underwear, but I don't make a habit of bending over. There was something on the seat. And asked if I could move and sit somewhere else, as I'd already ordered and paid for my food. I thought it was ridiculous. It's a very long article. I think we've got the gist at this point. He says he did later say, I prefer to wear nothing at all. Most people aren't bothered. It's all about fun and freedom. It's just a body. I'm used to being naked in public, as I've been a naturist for 40 years. For 2 years, I've been cycling in Hastings naked, and everybody accepts it. I'm well known. Well, I'm sure you are well known. There's no question about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't go complaining, discriminating, and committing a hate crime. I don't wear pants ever. Not for you, not for anyone. We all have a bottom, and they all look the same. Get over it. Well, there we go.
Oh, mate.
So he's not that apologetic that a child saw his arse/bollocks.
He does sound very upset about the whole ordeal, but I don't feel like it's for the right reasons. Because, hey, all for you being a naturalist or a naturist or whatever it is, if you want to be nude, but there are lines, and you should probably be aware of those. And if
there
you
are places
cross them,
to do it. Yeah,
you know, he's lucky it couldn't have been way worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I agree that if that's what he wants to do in the right place and at the right time, then that's fine. But he should be upset about this. What he should be upset about is that a child and a mother, but especially a child, saw his arse in Wetherspoons and was upset by it. That he should be upset about that, but he's upset that he was asked to leave Wetherspoons. So yeah,
that is quite a low point, to be fair, being asked to leave a Spoons.
You have to really mess up to be asked to leave Spoons. Oh God.
I googled the dude's name just because I'm curious, and he's got news articles about him dating back 20 years, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He is known in the area.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He's not done anything too naughty though. Just little interactions with the police here and there when he's sitting naked on benches and whatnot. Just come on, sir, please.
Right.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Mikey, and thank you to hang on, Will, was it? Hang on, let me open the Discord, please. There we go. Will Malley. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah. Thank you, Will. I would like to do my thing next, if that's all right.
Oh,
go ahead.
Wow. As always, I like to keep the bar high for Podiots in terms of taste and elegance and interesting historical stories. So I've got a ripper of a tale today.
Okay.
In Spider-Man, a young Peter Parker is given superpowers by a radioactive spider bite and decides to fight crime. In Daredevil, a young Matt Murdock gets covered in radioactive material and develops supersonic senses, also deciding to fight crime. In 19th century France, a young Joseph Pujol was taking a swim when he realised he could inhale vast volumes of water through his anus.
What's his superhero name?
Actually, there's one coming up, so see if you can guess it.
Okay.
Eventually, he decided to turn this into a hit stage show at the Moulin Rouge under the name of Le Petomane, and in English, the Fartomaniac.
Okay.
Cool.
Have it. So yeah, this is in the olden days. Can you imagine this? This is a man who does fart tricks, and it's at the Moulin Rouge. What a place! What a place!
Incredible.
The sky's the limit for you, Michael Johnson.
I know.
You could go far.
I could go fart.
There it is.
Hey. Yeah, one day. Well, maybe after this I'll feel inspired and you'll see me on stage soon.
I should hope so. We already seen you on stage. You didn't do a fart, though. We just saw you nearly die.
Oh, yeah.
Asphyxiated by Dick and Dom.
I'll get my revenge on them one day. They'll be asphyxiating. All right, let's get a little bit of history on Pujol. Born in 1857, he was on holiday when he discovered his superpower. I do like that. The article repeatedly references it as a superpower, which...
Yes.
It is.
Kind of is, yeah. Still in school at the age of 10, which turned out to be a complete waste of time, given his eventual career, he was holding his breath underwater when he felt... Oh, this is kind of gross, actually. When he felt the strange, cold sensation of a large volume of ocean water shooting up his bum. He understandably fled the water, and then the water came out. An idea's blossoming here. This is a superpower. The boy mentioned the incident to his family doctor, who laughed and dismissed his gift, telling him it was nothing to be concerned about, rather than have to contact the Avengers. Right. For a time, Joseph forgot about his skill. It was just a fleeting experience, and he just forgot all about it. But years later, after recounting the anecdote to his friends in the French army, he decided to try it once more.
Okay.
I would be tempted to join the army for a little bit if I didn't have to do any like the army stuff. I just want to hang out with.
Just talk about your fart powers and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably you get some interesting people there. It'd be quite fun to be a fly on the wall for that, but I don't like guns, so ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
And at the army base, with his friends gathered round, presumably resigned to the fact that the dinner party didn't quite have the original classy tone they had intended, Puyol placed his bum below the surface of some water and sucked hard.
Oh
God!
How do you do that? I can't even
How do you
think of the
do
muscles required to do
Sucked. That's the thing. If it was just that he had a very loose anus and it was just sort of flowing in almost against his control, that would make more sense to me. You know, just naturally filling the cavity. But it's like he's actively like hoovering it up, which is very
that.
strange.
Yeah. I went to school with Lucy Anus.
Loose anus, yeah.
Well done. God. Oh, I read this and it was funny, and now like I'm saying the words, it's so graphic. I think that's probably about as bad as it gets. We'll find out. I am replacing the word anus with bum though, so to shield our ears. And yeah, he put his bum beneath the water, sucked in, and amazingly, he could still do it. And with further training, he discovered that he could suck up about 2 liters of water.
Wow.
And roughly the same volume of air. Good Lord, this dude is inflating himself.
Oh my God.
He could do all that in one go by bending over, covering his nose and mouth, and then contracting his diaphragm, which I think I did have a go of it. It didn't quite make sense. Like, I just don't understand the mechanics of it.
That's very strange.
Truly is a superpower. So yeah, he contracted his diaphragm. This increased the volume of his abdomen, pulled in air, much in the same way your lungs do. And after a few intense training bouts, he could also vary the volume and pitch of his farts. So this man had gained total control over his rear.
Wow.
He could also do impressions of other people's farts.
What? No.
That's the first time I've ever heard anyone doing that.
Does it sound like a fart? Well, it's a pretty good impression then, I suppose.
Oh God, it just seemed like there'd be like a line of people all coming up performing, then he'd like a call and response, like dueling banjos. Oh God. Yeah. Do impressions of other people's farts, play the flute from behind, which I quite like, and blow smoke rings out of his bum and mouth at the same time.
Oh God.
Wow.
Okay.
Does that mean he's smoking from both ends, or is he going from one end and the smoke's coming out both? Surely he's got a cigarette.
No, they're not plumbed in together. I think he must be putting a cigarette in his bum as you.
If he can suck water in, he can definitely inhale smoke through his bum.
That's fair. Yeah. Oh God. Oh dear. I need to stop doing farts. I think it's run its course. Actually, no. This is good farts. Superpower farts.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Definitely.
Never stop.
No, don't. It wouldn't be the same.
No, I could never stop, sadly. I'm just built this way. And to top it all off, his farts were also completely odorless. He had his shreddies on.
Wow, very good.
And this is probably perhaps to Puyol giving himself 5 enemas a day, so he's squeaky clean.
God, that can't be good for your microbiome.
I don't think any of this is good for your microbiome.
No. Do we know how long he lived for?
Ooh, I think it's in here somewhere. Ooh, let's see. So he was born 1857 and he died 1945.
Wow.
Wow.
Blimey.
He's cracked it. Eternal life. Suck up, smoke out your bum. Hey. Oh, we're on fire tonight, boys.
Certainly are.
Dear. A 2013 paper in the journal French Cultural Studies explained the air he expelled and used his sphincter muscles to make vibrate, much as we do with our vocal cords when we speak and sing, was fresh air he had breathed in through his bum. But after he'd spent his time honing his skills and doing little performances, his eyes lit up with dollar signs, and he decided it was time to hit the road and take the show to the greater public. All the French people line up to see a fart man. Oh boy. Before long, he secured an audition at the Moulin Rouge, where he nervously sucked up water and cleaned out his moneymaker before playing tunes to the owner, who hired him immediately.
They were like, this is exactly what we've been looking for.
I can't believe it. This is what we want to bring the punters in. This is a real family show. This is it. This is time the Moulin Rouge goes global. You may picture Paris as pretty sophisticated, but people went absolutely nuts for a man on stage squeaking out La Mars. French words. La Marseillaise? Marseillaise?
Yeah, Marseille. Yeah.
Yeah, squeaking out La Marseillaise from his butthole. He became the highest paid performer in the whole of France.
Wow.
Moats fart.
Hey! Woo! Yeah, this dude.
Michael Bublé. Right,
Give it going. Give it. And yeah, this dude really propelled himself to the top of his craft. And for a time, things were good. But then he threw it all away by doing something the Moulin Rouge could not tolerate. And that was passing gas on his own personal time.
What?
what does that mean?
Well, you find out.
He was moonlighting.
God. Joseph attempted to drum up business for his friend's gingerbread stand by farting tunes to draw in the crowds. And the Moulin Rouge saw this as a breach of his contract. Essentially, they argued that he was only allowed to pass gas within the confines of the club, which is that's quite a lot.
You gotta go.
Yeah, man. Like, this dude's a professional. You're not going to stop him. He's got to practice somewhere. The legal disputes led to the end of his performances at the Moulin Rouge. But then he set up his own club. He set up his own club just based off him farting. But sadly, didn't quite have the same accolades as the Moulin Rouge, so he didn't quite earn as much money. But I think there's job satisfaction in being your own boss. Which, it's good. Good for him. He was replaced at the Moulin Rouge by another fart act, La Femme Pétomane, who was later revealed to have merely been pretending to fart using a set of bellows concealed under her skirt.
How did she hide that?
Big skirt.
Big skirt must be, yeah.
I can't believe they were like, shit, we need to replace Fart Man. We'll get someone else in, and someone, I guess, thought, I can con these mothers.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize such an appetite for fart performances in ye olde Paris, but hey, we never change. Puyol made a living for decades with his act before World War I put a stop to things. After the war, his act had gone out of fashion, sadly, with some suggestion that could have been because people viewed gas comedy as in poor taste following extensive war gassings. Wow, I think that's quite a loose connection.
Right.
Come on, article.
Yeah.
I think that's also maybe people just weren't quite as up for farts after the war. Like slightly soured mood. You don't want to go to a club and watch a man do big farts. Or maybe you do. Though we'd love to tell you more about how he was physically able to fart like this. Did he possess unique physiology? Or can we all unlock this talent? But we're unable to do so. Upon his death in 1945, his family refused to let doctors have a poke around in there to see what was going on. There are some things in this life which simply must be treated with reverence, one of his sons remarked. His secret, like a fart dissipating in front of a packed audience, may be lost forever.
Oh,
wow. What
beautiful.
A tale to leave behind.
So poetic.
That's the story of Puyol. What a man.
Wow.
I should try and find a picture of him. Joseph Puyol. Is there any drawings of him? Any art? Oh, wow. Wow, there is pictures of him.
You can freaking smell him.
Oh, he looks like a cheeky little fart, I'll tell you that. He's just a dude with a healthy mustache.
Good.
So yeah, absolutely delightful.
There's not a family resemblance, is there, Mikey? This could be some long, distant ancestor.
He's bending over as well.
Oh, he's really getting
in
into
a Wetherspoons, no doubt, as well.
Yeah, probably.
Devastating.
Me and Puyol are physically linked, but I don't think we're related. But man, what an inspiration.
Oh,
if you ever find a little special talent, You take that to the bank.
You
That's going to make you rich.
You deserve it.
And that's the story of farts.
But
Thank
he
you
was
for listening, boys.
definitely one of the original superheroes, I would say.
Yeah.
I was trying to think what pun was coming up. I think you said there was one in the article, didn't you?
The Fartomaniac.
Oh, Fartomaniac. Okay.
That was his stage name. Yeah.
Right. Well, I was thinking, it could be based on those 4 Marvel characters. The one who's like made of stone, the one who sets on fire, and then the leader. That's Mr. Fartastic, isn't it?
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fartastic
Perfect.
4.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. But yeah. Well, I'm sure we're off to something equally as cultured. Ben, would you like to give us your article?
Yes, this comes to us courtesy of Mike Wicked at MikeWicked80 on Twitter. It's a news article from ABC News Australia. Tasmanian woman tells office she can't come in as 600 kilograms Neil the seal is blocking her car.
Oh no, Neil.
Neil.
Do you want to see Neil the seal?
I'd love to.
Here is a picture of Neil the seal. I've just sent it back to Michael, who's already seen
I'll
it.
enjoy that.
Let me try that again. Let's put it in the right channel this time. Here he comes. It's Neil.
Oh,
big lad.
I must admit, I was expecting a bigger seal.
I mean, look at the size of the car.
Is there a Nerf gun underneath it?
There is, yeah. He's armed too.
It's still big, but I think I got overexcited. I thought it might be like an elephant seal, which is huge.
Help keep family and friends informed by sharing this article. It says.
Neil the seal's about.
Yeah, you be careful, everyone. A southern Tasmanian woman says she has found the best excuse ever to not go to work after she woke up with a 600-kilogram seal in her front yard. The tagged southern elephant seal, affectionately known as Neil to locals, has garnered quite the internet following over the past few years. He is known for popping up at beaches around Hobart, I assume, sunning himself on roads and playing with the traffic cones that were put out in place to protect him. And for all his antics, Southern Beaches resident Amber Harris never expected to see him in her yard. He's outside having a little nap, she told ABC Radio Hobart. He has moved around. He has been on my front deck. He had his little head, well, big head, up on my hammock, and he's now down blocking my car. Miss Harris said when she saw the seal in her yard, she called her boss to let them know she was going to be late. There's not a lot you can do with a 600-kilogram seal at your car, she said. Work got all the photos, so they knew it was legitimate. It's given everyone in the office a bit of a laugh. Miss Harris said a wildlife expert had told her there was little hope of tempting Neil away from her car with food. He probably won't eat anything because when he comes up onto land, he'll be up here for about 3 to 4 weeks and he usually uses that for hibernation, she said. However, a few hours of hanging out in her yard seemed like enough for Neil as he was later spotted moving his way back towards the beach. And that's essentially it. Neil the seal did not want her to go to work. Is another picture of Neil. It's a much more flattering photo of Neil, I think. He's very photogenic in that one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, he's just perched up against a car, kind of back arched, head over his back. Wow. And there's his traffic cones that they talk about.
Yeah, there's his traffic cones.
Yeah.
I have no idea why he's chosen my front yard, but he's welcome to stay as long as he wants, it says.
Aww.
This is lovely.
Oh, he's quite cute.
Are there any racist comments underneath? No, there aren't. That's a shame.
Hey. I found Neil the Seal's Instagram account and all the pictures of him. There is just traffic cones next to him. Someone's following him around.
He is a known entity.
Yeah.
Oh, the second photo's great. Where he's smiling / yelling.
Oh, look at that.
I like him. He could sleep in front of my car any time.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Well, there we are. That's my listener submitted thing.
Thank you.
Lovely.
You're
Is
welcome.
the tag in the middle of his head? What's with the third and fourth picture?
Oh, he's got like some kind of weird tracker on there.
He's got an antenna on his head.
Yeah, very weird.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, it says it's a tracker in the comments.
Oh, strange.
Weird place to put it.
Thank you very much for that story. That was wonderful. Incidentally, someone I did see a comment recently where someone was saying, would we be able to add images to the video edit as we go, so that people at home can see what we're talking about? I mean, it would add literally hours on top of our editing process, because we would have to sit and listen through the entire podcast on top of what we already have to do. So, I mean, we post everything on Twitter in threads, and also you can, most of this stuff you can Google very easily. So I know it's not super handy, but if you are sitting somewhere with a screen, you probably can quickly pull out your phone and find the things that we're talking about, usually.
Yes, and also I believe, if you don't want to have Twitter, you can go to vidiotsofficial.com, and our Twitter feed is on the right-hand side of the homepage, so you can just scroll through it and see it there, nice and easily.
Yeah. Nice.
Right, so it's my turn now for my own thing.
I believe so. Yes.
Well, pull up a chair, everyone, because I thought you might like to know what the latest gossip is on my housing estate.
Oh,
right. It's all going down here. Yeah.
Put on the kettle, juicy. Peter. Let's have a good old natter.
We're gonna have a little gossip. So some things have been happening on this estate recently. The way the situation is that I live on a whole load of new build houses on a development site, and just down the road is another whole set of new houses which is being built by a different housing development, but we're all new here basically. So there are several Facebook groups that now exist, of which I'm a member of none, but Amy is a member of a couple. There's one for each of these two separate estates, and then there's like one larger kind of we're all new build people kind of group estate Facebook group. So she's a member of both. And recently, someone posted on the Facebook group for the other estate, and they said, we just moved in this week. There seems to be a lot of blue lights going around, sirens and stuff. Is this normal for this housing estate? And we just moved in, and there's a lot of like police and stuff just like going around the roads. And people were replying saying, no, this isn't like, we don't typically see a police presence. It's normally all pretty quiet around here. So that immediately piqued the interest of a lot of people. And then, in fact, I made some notes here. I've changed names for anonymity. But it then became apparent that someone, let's call her Susan, who is apparently a bit of a known quantity on these Facebook groups for being a bit of a Karen and a bit of a loud voice. She's a big name on houses. She's a Beano. She posted saying, "I'll tell you, I have had the police out for." One of the most horrific experiences of my life, she said. That's how she described it. Okay. So the police had been called. There had been an altercation on someone's doorstep. Someone had to be restrained, and the police then came while this person was being restrained, kind of under a citizen's arrest, to deal with the situation. Allegedly, it was someone who was going door to door, and seemingly they were, kind of like scamming or something, is what this woman was claiming. So we were all kind of interested by this. Now, as I say, we're not all the biggest fan of Susan. Susan quite frequently will go on these groups and she will say, thank goodness to, again, I've changed the names, but thank goodness that Hot Pipes Limited came out and fixed my plumbing in an emergency. They're just great. This is her husband's company. She just likes to just post and say how wonderful they are. I mean, when she says they came and fixed the leak under my sink, I think what she means is he was in the living room and then he came into the kitchen. So she's got a reputation. But what happened was, it later emerged that some people had been going around the estate and they were saying they were from HelloFresh, okay? And they had knocked on her door and she was like, you're not scamming me, sunshine. And so she or her husband grappled this woman who was saying they're from HelloFresh and held on to them. There were then some replies underneath this claim, and it was from people saying, Susan, they really were HelloFresh.
Oh my God.
They came round to my house. I'm already with HelloFresh, and they said, "Oh, okay, that's great. Well, do you know what? Here's a free code." And they have input the code on their app, and it works, and they're really from HelloFresh.
God.
What appears to have happened is that two people, because we've heard the rest of this story from other people who've posted on the Facebook group, but two people from HelloFresh, or representing HelloFresh, have been going around all the new build houses, because I guess it's a captive audience, knocking on doors, saying, "Hello, have you heard of HelloFresh?" If you say, "Yes, I have," they just give you a free code. If you haven't, they obviously try and get you to sign up. They've knocked on Susan's door with a clipboard and said, "Hello, I'm from HelloFresh." She said, "No, you're fucking not." They've said, "Yes, I am." They've had an argument on the doorstep. And when it's got like really heated, they've said, "All right, fine. You know what? I'm going. Like, never mind. Thanks for talking to me. Please visit hellofresh.com. I'll see you later." And she has said, "Oh, no, you're not, you evil scammer," and got her husband to grab hold of this woman.
What?
And then the police had to be called round. So we don't know what happened to the HelloFresh lady, whether she got off there and then, or if they took her into the station. But that has apparently been going down on my estate recently. So these are the lovely people that I'm sharing my neighbourhood with.
She could feasibly press charges, right?
Well, I guess so, because they literally restrained her for no reason other than she knocked on the door, said, "Have you ever considered HelloFresh?" They've said, "You're not HelloFresh," and then they've like grabbed hold of her and said, "You're not going till the police are here."
Susan is never going to live this down in the Facebook groups. No one's
she's
ever going
not.
to trust a single thing she says ever again. Big
Well, someone
camera move,
replied.
that.
Yeah, someone replied to Susan and said, "It's a real shame this happened, Susan, because these people, they're probably a bit down on their luck. They're not. I can't imagine many of them are pleased to be going door to door and getting, those people get yelled at all the time by people. It's probably not their ideal job, but they're just trying to make ends meet, trying to make a living. And, you've made life that bit more difficult for that woman who you've done this to." So when I was watching this story I was hearing this story unfold on Facebook, I just thought, this is like, it doesn't really sound real. It sounds like something from a kind of a farcical soap opera or something. Like, it's almost a bit funny, but it's not, because it happened in real life to a real person.
That poor woman.
Yeah. So if there's any more drama or positive reviews for Hot Pipes
sounds like
Limited,
you've got a character on the block now, so you can have some stories.
Please keep us posted. Facebook groups are the best. I'm still in the one from where I used to live before I moved here. And did you see the photo, Peter? Because I sent it around the office last week. Maybe you were ill, actually.
Right.
But basically, someone managed to crash their car through a wall on the estate where the speed limit is like 5 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And there's no through road. I'll find a photo.
I didn't see this.
And I'll send it to you, because it's unbelievable how that. Hopefully you can pinpoint roughly where it is, because you will also be absolutely amazed at how they have managed to do this.
Right.
God. Well, let's just hope you don't have any parcels delivered.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
Never collect them from there.
Well, fortunately, as I say, she's actually in the other like collection of houses, so she's a good quarter of a mile away from us. But she also another reason she's got a reputation is that she started a neighborhood watch group.
Oh, of course she bloody did.
Yeah, of her whole estate. Also, a smaller estate that's next to theirs on one side, but decided not to include our estate in it, as though we're not bothered about.
You're at fault.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Oh
know.
my God, that photo you've sent.
How did they do that?
I don't know. Can I add that to the thread for the benefit of others?
I assume that's fine, right? I don't think. I mean, I don't live there anymore, so I don't care.
I mean, it's just a photo of
Christ.
that.
It's bonkers.
Oh my God.
That is just down the road from like a little bridge, which is one way anyway. So this person presumably was driving away from that bridge. So they either live down there or they've broken the law and gone through the wrong way in the one-way system, which a lot of people do because they're assholes. And then they've just driven really fast through it and lost control and driven straight through a brick wall. I don't know how they've done it.
Good
Christ.
grief.
Looks cool, though. That's like a hell of a brick explosion.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
There were like a dozen posts of people saying, "Oh, anyone know what's happened?" So someone smashed their car through, and the council were clearing bricks from the front of it because people wouldn't have been able to get their cars out in the morning otherwise. So
Yeah.
crazy.
Nuts. I sadly don't have any fun neighbour stories to share. I've had at most it's just been people breaking into cars on the street, but that's fine.
Right.
I'd rather that than a lady pummeling an innocent HelloFresh worker to the ground.
Yeah. It was just the slow realization of someone replying saying, No, they were HelloFresh. I used the code and it was accepted. Oh God.
Jesus, just close the door on them. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You're going to try to be a hero and look at you. Look at you. Well, I am very excited to hear more about what this woman gets up to because it sounds like she's a real character.
Yeah, it's probably just the beginning of more, I imagine.
Yes. Thank you, Peter.
Oh,
I hope
you're welcome.
I hope things improve for you. It sounds like you're in a very dangerous neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. Thank you, Peter. I shall read my viewer-submitted story. I'm going to find who submitted it. Go on, then.
Go on, then. Fucking do it.
Go on.
Go on, do it.
This one's from Chris Law at This My Twit Name on Twitter. And this is some fast news, some fast, exciting news. I tried to think of a good pun. I just came out with fast news. That's not good. Anyway, not just fast food. Baby comes quickly at Atlanta McDonald's.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Baby comes quickly at Atlanta McDonald's. Like I said, anyway. Yeah, a baby was born in a bloody McDonald's. Good God.
Oh, God. I hope they called it Ronald.
Oh.
They've actually,
Grimace.
they've nicknamed the baby Nugget.
No.
So Grimace isn't too far off.
God damn it.
Yeah, the baby was nicknamed Nugget after a woman delivered a girl at an Atlanta McDonald's. I'm praying that somewhere in this they're granted like free McDonald's forever. Surely they'd do that. Alandria Worthy tells the news station that her labour was intensifying and her fiancé was driving her to the hospital Wednesday morning when they stopped so she could use the bathroom at the fast food restaurant. I thought we were going to say stop to get a burger on the way to the hospital while giving birth. Oh dear. I went to the bathroom and my water broke immediately. Worthy said she started screaming and restaurant manager Tanisha Woodward went to see what was happening. I opened this door. I didn't see anyone, but I saw feet under the door, Woodward said. I opened, and she was on this toilet, lying back, screaming. Then I knew to tell my crew, we're having a baby today.
Oh, God.
Oh, good God. Woodward and two workers began to help. The fiancé, DeAndre Phillips, came in to check what was taking so long, only to find Worthy giving birth. Oh, wait, love, hurry up. Your Big Mac's getting cold. I was trying to calm her down because she was frantic. Yeah, I would be too.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I was like, just breathe. I got her on the floor. Don't put her on the floor in McDonald's bathroom.
No, I was thinking that. Yeah.
I got her on the floor and I took off my clothes. The ladies at McDonald's were at her front side, holding her hands. I had her feet propped up on my knees. We told her to push 3 pushes. She was a fighter. And less than 15 minutes later, little Nugget was born.
Wow. Very quick birth.
That's pretty good. Like, if you get in under a couple of hours, you've had a pretty good birth. So McDonald's birth's the way to go. Oh my God, it's still crazy that it happened, Worthy said. Yes, she popped out onto my hand, Phillips said. Cute.
Lovely.
Lovely. The parents tell the TV station, divine intervention brought them to McDonald's where 3 women could help. We are all mothers, and so we put our heads together, and and all we needed Daddy to do was catch the baby, and he did.
What if he missed?
Oh God!
The amount
it's
of
gone in the
infections
toilet.
that baby would have gotten.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we get like infected with Ronald McDonald DNA and grow up to be a clown.
It just grows clown shoes instead of feet.
I mean, some McDonald's toilets, they're not just dirty. I mean, that baby could have been born with an immediate heroin addiction if it is.
It could. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Born in UV light, maybe. Just glad it wasn't given birth to in Bedminster, Asda. 'Cause
Blue
not
lights.
only could you not see, but it might have been carried off by a seagull.
Seagull DNA.
It's just that's the Bristol stork, right? The seagull.
Yeah.
Brings the baby, and takes it away. Although the baby's birth certificate reads Nandi Aria Moremi Phillips, the McDonald's crew gave the baby girl another name.
Nandi?
Nandi,
So
yeah.
it was born in a McDonald's, but it's basically called Nando's.
Wow. Come on, guys. Come on, Donald. Donald would have been better.
Yeah.
I said we're going to going to name her Little Nugget. That's her nickname. McDonald's Little Nugget, Woodward said. that nickname may stick. She's definitely a nugget, Phillips agreed. And babies do look like nuggets, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, just pale nuggets. Phillips agreed. My parents loved the name too. We were like, okay, it fits her, my little nugget. Steve Akinborough, who owns the franchise, awarded the employees $250 gift cards.
Gift cards?
Yeah, that's weak. Like at least a year's supply, or like Happy Meals until they're no longer a child. Like, come on, this is advertising 101. $250 gift card. Ugh. Woodward said he'll spend all the money on Nandi. Oh, I guess it's not even gift cards for McDonald's. It's just gift cards.
Just
which I guess
for shops or whatever.
that's kind of better, I guess.
Yeah,
I
that's better.
did think it was worrying when he said he'd spend all the money on the baby. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, God.
just buy a loads of McDonald's in his first year of life.
Oh, dear. And that's the story. So congratulations, little nugget. Welcome to the world.
Yeah, welcome to the world, Nugget.
Welcome.
Glad you're here.
I promise things are so much more beautiful in that bathroom you were born in. You've got so much to see.
It gets so much worse.
Oh, dear. Thank you, boys. And thank you, Chris Law.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chris
Mikey.
Law.
Ben?
Where do we go now?
It's me.
Ben's turn.
Ooh!
It's my turn now. Time for the final thing. This is a weird Capetia, actually, this one.
Oh.
It's only a short one. Have you guys heard of Mohammed the horse?
No, I don't think so.
This rings bells, but no, I'm going to say no.
Okay. We're going to learn about Mohammed the horse today. I'll send you a photo of Mohammed the horse. Just so you can... Because you don't know what a horse looks like.
No.
But this is a very particular horse, and that is what Mohammed the horse looked like. There he is.
Looks great.
He did.
Good boy.
He looked great as well, I imagine. Mohammed was a German horse reportedly able to mentally extract the cube roots of numbers, which he would then tap out with his hooves.
Oh, yeah,
What?
okay. I have heard of this.
What?
I think it was on
Raised-
QI.
Raised in the town of Elberfeld by Karl Kral in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, he was one of several supposedly gifted horses, the other being Kluge, Hans, Zarif, Amasis, and later Bento, a blind stallion.
No.
Mohammed, the most gifted of the animals, could also allegedly perform music and even distinguish between harmony and discord. I have no idea what they're basing this on. There is a hyperlinked thing, but it appears to... Can horses think? Learned Commission says perhaps is a linked article from 1913. So inconclusive. While all the horses raised by Kral could demonstrate an apparent ability to read and do basic arithmetic, apparently, Mohammed could seemingly perform complicated calculations. When tested by psychologists and scientists, a number was written on a blackboard, and Mohammed was asked to extract the cube root. His left foot represented the tens, while his right foot represented the ones, so that in order to give the answer 65, he would tap 6 times with his left foot and 5 times with his right. This method of tapping was also used to demonstrate the horse's spelling, although according to reports, they did not correctly handle German orthography, which I don't know. I don't know what that is. German orthography is the orthography used in writing the German language.
For fuck's sake.
That's not helpful. Kroll himself professed disbelief in the notion that Mohammed might be some sort of genius, arguing that human idiot savants are also able to perform mathematical functions rapidly in their heads. Scientists examining the horses attempted various tests to prove that the horses were being signaled. Hang on. Yes, I attempted to prove that the horses were being signaled answers by Kroll, and even attempted to blindfold the horses by tying sacks over their heads and by observing them in the stable through peepholes. According to Kroll, Mohammed, the most intelligent of the horses, which is an excellent description, eventually began to communicate spontaneously, sometimes even tattling on other horses for being lazy or even on the grooms for beating them.
Oh.
Among the scholars who tested the horses and came away impressed by them were psychologist Edward Claparede, who claimed they were genuine, and Belgian writer Maurice Maeterlinck, who claimed that Kral had humanized the horses. And then the final line is devastating, and I want you to just prepare for this one.
Oh, no.
Mohammed disappeared in World War I, in which he served as a draft animal.
Oh, he can do maths. He should be doing like the chord crackers, not on the field.
So this article has a few hyperlinks, but all the hyperlinks seem to lead to articles that are very similar to this write-up, which are apparently he can do maths. It says in this write-up on Wikipedia that, you know, they tried to test him, they tried to catch him out, see if he was lying, but they don't actually say what the results were of those tests. So it could be bollocks.
Right.
But you know the little box that's in the top right-hand corner of a Wikipedia page that gives you sort of the facts, the sort of the details?
Yes.
We've got Mohammed, a picture of him, and underneath it says Mohammed in 1910. Died unknown, probably in World War One.
Probably.
Nation from Germany, known for being able to read and do simple maths, and that's his little write-up.
It's very vague, isn't it? Like with him tattling on other horses and being able to read. Like I can understand, not that I necessarily believe it happened or believe it was genuine, but I can understand how he could give mathematical answers because that was explained. You know, he taps left for but how do you prove that he could read, or how was he saying this horse is lazy? Because what I've heard about this horse is just what you said earlier, which is that they thought maybe the owner or the groomer or whatever you call it, the horse guy, was like signaling the answers and basically getting it to tap left and tap right. But it's all very inconclusive, that write-up, isn't it? Like, did they then remove him from the room and test it, and was it still successful? Like,
even the outcome of the tests they did would be nice to know. But we don't have access to that information. At the bottom it does say see also Clever Hans. Clever Hans was a horse that was claimed to have performed arithmetic and other intellectual tasks. There's a whole other thing. I really should have covered Clever Hans because there's a much bigger write-up here. At the bottom, there's an entire section dedicated to the Clever Hans effect.
Wow. I think that's the one I've heard of, and maybe I'm getting this horse mixed up with Clever Hans because the name rings a bell. Horses. Yeah.
But Mohammed could do music somehow.
Apparently, it doesn't describe that. But allegedly he could. At least in Clever Hans's page, there's a photo of him with the caption "Clever Hans performing in 1904," and there are people gathered around. Whereas Mohammed, there's just pictures of the horse stood there.
Of our horse,
Of our horse. So I do like to believe that Mohammed was so clever that he escaped his duties in World War One and lived peacefully somewhere
in a field
away from the conflict.
Yeah.
Doing his maths.
Yeah. There we are. That's my thing, Mohammed, and then it says in brackets horse. That's my article for today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I didn't know horses were so good at math.
I have a
sneaking
sneaking suspicion that they aren't, Michael.
Yeah.
I get the impression that it could be bollocks, but we just don't know. In much the same way that you'll have a Wikipedia article about you in 50 years about all of your feats, and we won't know. No one will know for sure if they're true.
Yeah.
All my feats are recorded on the internet, so sadly there's proof.
It's true. Well, yeah.
Hot British guy farts 50 times or whatever it was.
Yeah,
incredible.
I've got evidence. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
I love horses.
That concludes all of the things this week. Thank you so much for submitting your things. Thank you, boys, for your things as well. We'll be back hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, but again, we're not entirely sure because the week that we may end up recording or at least certainly the week that the next episode should be releasing is the day after we do the Vidiots reunion stream, and so there may not be enough time to get all that turned around. So we'll let you know, but certainly there will be at least one more podcast before Christmas, and if you want to get those pod squads in to get a shout out, then make sure you stay on top of that. Mikey, I believe there's some sort of shop.
A shop indeed. If you head over to vidiotsofficial.com and click on that lovely, enticing, appealing four-letter word that is shop, you'll be greeted with a veritable bounty of goodies which you can wear and use around the house, including t-shirts, stickers, mug, hat, and hoodie. Aren't they lovely?
So lovely.
Ooh, go check one out. But also, do keep your eyes peeled on the shop for maybe the thing we might be releasing around the time of the stream. Ooh, but if you just can't wait, if you want your Vidiots tat and you want it now, then head over to vidiotsofficial.com and click on shop. Thank you.
Can we do? I mean, this could be cut out of the podcast if it's something we should discuss off air, perhaps. But is it possible for us to do a Black Friday sale?
Our margins are so incredibly thin.
Right.
No.
That's fair. Okay. I thought that might have been the case, but sorry, everyone. No bargains today.
Sorry.
What else have I got here? How about you go check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots. Our Discord is vidiotsofficial.com/Discord. Thank you to Tommy and Fleckers who mod us there. Go check out the Discord. Say hello to fellow listeners. Twitch.tv/Vidiotsofficial. That's where we will be streaming and where we stream occasionally. I can hear the cat yelling. I think she's got.
I could hear something then in the back.
She's just squeaking. I think she's got a toy. She's going mad for the hair bubbles at the moment.
Oh.
Twitch.tv/Vidiotsofficial. That's where we will be streaming on the 8th of December, right? At 8 p.m. Hopefully, I'll let you know. Where are you?
Oh, what's going on, buddy?
Where are you? I can't even see her. She's probably brought something in she wants me to throw around. She's fine.
Oh, I bet it's a mouse.
It's not a mouse. She's not allowed outside. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
it's all good.
The mice are safe.
If it's a mouse, then you've got mice.
Yeah, there's a much bigger problem.
Yeah.
Podiots.com is where you need to go. If you donate £3 or more, you'll join Pod Squad. You'll get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast, and you'll support us in what we do here and support the things that you enjoy. And it means an awful lot to us. Mikey, can you kick us off again, please?
I can indeed. We begin with Palestiner Math. What is the wrestler name again?
Steiner Math.
Steiner
They
Math.
say all men are
Steiner
created equal, but you look at me and you look at Smalljaw and you can see that statement is not true, etc.
Oh, is that dude? Oh. The Blobbit, Dildo Shaggins, Stephen Scodes, Blobby's Wobbly Nobby, Lord Brotovich, and Word a Cunt is Freddie Weber.
We've also got Gromit Romney, Mr. Macca, Can I Pet That Dog, Prince Beefcakes, Isaac Cox, and Donaco7.
And finally, John Dillerman, doxed myself last pod, must be too chuggy for Streamlabs, and reverse poo go back up bum.
It do.
Thank you so much
like
for supporting us. Podiots.com. £3 or more to get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the podcast. Peter, what's out on Vidiots this week? 5 years ago.
I'll tell you. It's Podiots episode 20, Book Ache, Spyro Reignited Blindfold Challenge, The Little Britain DVD game is broken, a classic.
God bless it. God bless it.
Worst games ever, Miami Vice, Vidiots live Twitch stream Dark Souls Remastered number 6, Podiots 21, Honey Linears, We Split the Sausage, see it's starting to be all the final stuff of the year. An unlisted video with 18 views called Happy Birthday Oisin. Worst games ever, The Legend of Spyro The Eternal Night. Vidiots live Twitch stream Fallout 76 Disaster, another classic.
Yeah.
And I think the last one, Vidiots live Twitch stream Dark Souls Remastered Finale, came out the same day as this podcast. Let me just turn the page, see if there's another one. There's not. That's it.
That's it.
For this fortnight.
That's your lot. It's going to get a bit quieter from here on in. On the 5 years ago this week.
And then it all kicks off again.
We get to do it all again. Watch through all of Vidiots. What an exciting time to be alive. Mikey, whereabouts are you on the internet?
At Parrot Boy on Twitter and Instagram. That's the best place to keep up with what it is I'm doing. Thank you.
And Peter, where are we?
We are at that Peter Austin and at confused_dude on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. And you can get us together at Team Triple Jump on, yes, Twitter, but more importantly, on YouTube and Twitch, where we are playing video games, doing silly cooking, doing worst games ever, rules bosses over there, Billy Ray Walrus, all your old favourites, apart from Michael Johnson, your biggest old favourite from the Vidiots days or times.
Wonderful. Why not leave us a 5-star review on your platform of choice? It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms, and by golly, we'd really appreciate it. If you're not in a position to Pod Squad support us, that is a fantastic way that you can do that for free, and it would mean an awful lot to us. Do we have a final question before we go?
What's your weird talent? What would you be at the Moulin Rouge doing?
What can you suck up your bum?
Yeah.
Move over, Sticky Vicky. You got competition.
Awful. Thank you so much for listening / watching, everybody. We will see you hopefully in a couple of weeks, but we will definitely see you on the 8th of December at 8 p.m. on Twitch for Vidiots Reunion 5, we've decided is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Take care. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.